Hey everybody, today on Surf Chats with Topanga Lou, we have Kyle. Hi Kyle.
Hi.
Thanks for doing the interview with me today. My first question for you is, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you surfing at Topanga Beach?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think the worst thing, it's kind of funny. I think actually the first time I surfed Topanga when I was 17 might have been the worst thing, which is a funny thing to kind of recollect. But there's been some rough days where it just gets super crowded, and that's a bummer. But that was really super crowded, big southwest swell. I paddled out and didn't really know the lineup very well, and some guy that was out of control took off on a big wave and ran me right over into my forehead and put a hole in my head, and I kind of squirting blood out of my head. And I'd never been here before, but I was just like, if I think back to it, it's funny because this is a long time ago, but like I screamed at the guy. I was just like, cursed him out. I was just like, I can't believe you did that. I was completely, you're out of control, and people were just like, I think kind of shocked. Like, I mean, I wasn't a local here, I didn't know anybody, but I think just like the amount of blood coming out of my head made me an intimidating 17-year-old at the moment. So,
Okay, well I'm glad.
I went home, I went in, and my session was over, and I had to go see a doctor, and it was like really no good waves, no fun, and a hole in my head.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that happened to you on your first day here. I'm glad you came back.
Yeah.
And my second question is, how many years have you surfed at Topanga Beach?
Well, technically, I was 17 then, I think, maybe 16. So that was like 1996.
And it's 2022 now, so...
Yeah, that's a lot of math for me to go through right now, but that would be 4 years plus 22, that'd be 26 years, technically. But I really didn't surf here a lot until 2005, really was I like kind of a regular here.
Oh, cool.
But, so however you want to look at it, that's the reality.
Okay, and my third and last question for you is, can you tell beginner surfers basics that they should know about when they surf at Topanga Beach?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to know is just that you're likely going to be in a crowded lineup, and the more space you can, when you're really learning, it's better to be further down the point. There's a lot more space over here.
Down at the bay.
Down in the bay. There's also sometimes space up at boomers, and ultimately putting yourself, if you're at a point where either A, you haven't fully learned the rules of etiquette within surfing, or B, you don't have the ability or like basically water knowledge to be able to fulfill them because of you're kind of stumbling through things, which is fine, then it's good to kind of like find some space. Like this is a crowded beach, and it's got all levels, and if you pull into the middle of a very crowded place and you like go the wrong direction on a wave that you should be going the other direction on, and an experienced surfer is going, you might collide, you might get hurt, you might piss some people off, and
or you could hurt another surfer. Yeah,
and ultimately it's just not that fun for anybody. You could, most likely you'll actually have more fun. There's a guy right there, like he's learning, but like that guy's having the same wave down there that he would have at the point, doing the same thing on the wave, and he's he's in the perfect spot basically. He's in
nobody's
no harm.
over there.
Yeah, zero risk to anyone else. He fell on that wave, he didn't cut anybody off, and he's going to be able to do that 10, 20 times over today if he stays down there. Whereas if you're up here in the middle of everybody, and you have that same sort of like learning level, it's like highly likely you're going to run into someone, you're going to annoy someone who might actually utilize part of the wave that you can't even actually utilize because of your skill set. And it really is just I think that's the biggest thing, is just like use the bay. Like and then work your way up. Watch. learn as you evolve as a surfer. And I think that the other thing I would say is that it's a feisty, it's an unfortunately feisty spot. We're in the middle of a huge city here, and there's a long legacy of people that have surfed here a long time, and you know, they're not really interested in necessarily sharing with someone their first year the best wave of the day. So it can kind of create some tension, and you know, I think having some humility around that and like trying to just have a smile and a good attitude as a beginner, and not letting your ego, even if other people are kind of letting their egos get hurt out there, like you know, the biggest way to get respect is that if something goes wrong, you know, apologize, realize that you're just figuring it out, have that humility, and kind of grow as a surfer. I mean, the truth is that Sunset is a great learning spot. You know, these beaches down here are a great learning spot. The cove here is a great learning spot. But the point, it's not like a heavy wave, but it's just a lot of people all at once. You don't really, you know, it isn't necessarily the most fun for anybody if they're all gonna like pack into that spot, especially when you're learning. So that's a lot of words, but is that good?
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on Surf Chats with Topanga.
Yeah, no problem.